1, 2, 3, go.
This is my Uncle Kirk.
Speak up louder.
This is my Uncle Kirk, and I am Josh. I'll be asking you some questions.
Okay.
Okay. My first question is, when were you born?
I was born August 15, 1958.
Okay. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in St. Paul in a neighborhood called Highland Park.
Okay. Where did you go to school?
I went to a neighborhood grade school called Edgecombe.
Okay. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple.
Okay. Did you ever have to move as a kid?
No.
Okay. How far did you have to walk to school?
I walked, it was about half a mile.
Okay. What did you do for fun?
Boy, what I do for fun. Well, it was a great neighborhood. We had a bunch of kids. So there was always pickup games for football, baseball.
Okay.
We'd shoot baskets. I mean, we did all the sports.
Cool. What was your favorite sport?
My favorite sport when I was growing up was probably playing baseball.
Cool. What were your dreams as a kid?
Well, I always wanted to be a pilot.
Cool.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out exactly how to get that done, so I went to something else. I went into engineering.
Alright. What was school like back then?
School was fun. Like I said, you were in St. Paul. It was real small, so you had maybe within a mile or so you had neighborhood schools.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody you played with, you went to school with, and you knew them, and it was a lot of fun.
Alright. How did you get your name?
I'm not sure. I think if you look up Kirk, it's Scottish for little church.
Okay.
So I think my mom and dad thought they'd pick something somewhat religious, but also unique.
Okay. Back then, what were your favorite movies or shows?
Boy, I think when I was a little kid, I loved westerns when I was real little.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I grew up, I think I liked things that would scare you movies. Things that would scare you.
Yeah.
Horror Incorporated was big when I was a kid.
Cool.
That was exciting.
Did you have a lot of friends?
I would hope so. I mean, there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood, and they would come and call, and I felt like I was pretty popular.
Who was your best friend?
My best friend was probably the next door neighbor at the time. His name was Wayne Kalal.
Okay. Did you always get good grades?
I wish I could say yes, but probably not.
Who was your favorite teacher and why?
Are we talking grade school, or are we talking
It's like any teacher.
any teacher? I think that there's this one teacher, she taught Spanish. Her name was Miss Mercado.
Okay.
I liked her the best.
Okay. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I always thought I was going to be a lawyer. I always thought first I wanted to be a pilot. And I thought, boy, I could be a lawyer. But it just seemed like it was too much school and too much cost.
All right. What was your favorite food as a kid?
Well, I'd have to say, it's probably not the right thing, but when I was a kid, it was a treat to go out. It's not like people do a lot of fast food now. I think our big treat was when we got to go to McDonald's. So I'd probably say a hamburger.
Cool. Right. Let's see. What was your favorite toy when you were my age?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know. It'd have to be anything sports related, but I honestly think the things that were most memorable and you didn't have them all the time because it usually broke was a kite.
Yeah.
Go fly a kite, I thought was pretty cool.
I used to lose all my kites.
I did too. Everybody does.
Yeah. Did you have your own room?
When I was real little, no. I was in a bunk bed with my brother.
Okay.
And then when I was about 11 years old, I got my own room.
All right. When did you get your first? No, I can't read. When did you get your first car?
Oh yeah.
I got my first car when I bought it when I was 16 years old.
All right.
What was it?
Huh?
You're supposed to ask, what was it? What was your first?
What was your
What was my first car? I bought a '69 Chevelle SS.
Nice.
Cool.
Wow.
Alright, well,
Turn the page. There's more.
where did you go to high school?
I went to Highland Park High School.
Cool. Where did you go to college?
I went to Northwest Technical Institute
Okay.
and then studied at the U. The classes through the U.
Okay. What is your degree?
It's in mechanical design.
Cool. When did you meet your wife?
I met her. Well, I've known my wife since we're in high school at some point, or maybe even junior high. I grew up in St. Paul. She grew up in Minnetonka, but we had friends who were that had cabins on a lake together, and so that's how I first met her.
Alright. When did you buy your first house?
I bought our first house when I was 24 years old.
Oh, alright, I think that's
I
all.
think you forgot to ask when he got married. There was one question on that.
When did you get married?
I got married when I was 23 years old.
Cool, alright. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thanks for answering
Is it?
them.
Well, I got a few for you.
Perfect.